So massive Avengers 4 reshoots are on the way. We know there's going to be a lot of stuff that's happening with these, and currently there's a lot of interesting pictures out there that might paint a picture of how exactly things might be different or the same, depending on how you look at it. So in case you guys have been keeping up with all the pictures out there, leaked set photos and everything, Chris Evans, Captain America, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, are all back to shooting scenes for Avengers 4. We know that these reshoots are going to be extensive, which I'll talk about in other videos because there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about and break down. But what this boils down to is the fact that many people have noticed that the characters don't exactly look like the modern day versions. Specifically, Captain America looks like he straight up walked out of the set of The Winter Soldier. Paul Rudd doesn't look as ruggedy and looks like they're almost putting on some makeup to make him look slightly younger. And Scarlett Johansson looks like she has the same exact hair she had during The Winter Soldier. So we know to some degree or something that's happening that there's going to be time travel or parallel universe or a combination of both in some way, shape, or form. And if this is true, once again, we've talked about how we've seen the Guardians in their original outfits, or at least part of the Guardians. We've talked about previously unused scenes that might hint at the future, that they even shot during Age of Ultron, and specific things that never made it into the cut. And now this kind of reinforcing the idea of that. Now, honestly, when I really think about it, I don't know where you would fit the Winter Soldier in the bigger, I guess, importance of the MCU, because it doesn't involve any specific stone. There's nothing big that impacts like Thanos or anything, right? And that's what Avengers 4 seems to be about, since it's most likely about them retrieving the Infinity Stones before Thanos ever does. So what would this mean? And I think that's the big question of what people are trying to figure out. Now, for this jumping through time to different periods, maybe that's Scott jumping through time to pull them out of before certain events happened, before the Avengers broke up. I think Winter Soldier would be a perfect example of like Cap and Black Widow at their peak, because it's before the whole relationship starts falling apart during specifically, Age of Ultron events, which that's when the really budding of minds of Stark and Cap happen. Or hear me out, this could be possible. It's just a coincidence that they look the same, right? But then again, the characters have aged 6 years at the point, right? So, a little questiony, a little tricky. Maybe they're playing tricks with us. Maybe they're not. We don't really know. But when it comes down to it, I think the first trailer is going to be a big indicator of what we're getting, right? And these set photos always seem to confirm something we've heard before, while also asking another question and putting another theory out there. So who really knows? If you guys got any really good theories, we'll be looking at the comments for the next CBC podcast when we do that and discussing those. So make sure you leave them or join us on the podcast for a live discussion, and then we can answer your question on there.